Hi. You can find a lot of technical instructions on YouTube, but what I find a bit lacking here are the tips on content-related topics. And if you are new to it, it can be quite overwhelming and you can quickly get lost in unimportant details. That's why I've put together a few tips and tricks that I would have appreciated as a beginner and that would have eased my initial insecurities. In case you don't know my channel yet, hi, I'm Sebastian. I'm a freelance photographer and video producer, and in my videos I talk about life in creative jobs and insecurities that come with it. I'm always happy to make new contacts here, and if you're interested, please subscribe. Of course, I make no claim to completeness here. How can a YouTube video replace training or studying? But I've tried to include as many tips as possible in this list. If I've forgotten any important points, feel free to write them in the comments. Maybe together we will come up with the perfect collection of tips after all. I'm sure some people won't like the first tip, but don't worry too much about the technique. Sure, you should know the basic principles and have a camera that doesn't prevent you from pursuing your type of photography. But don't get too lost in the details. I'm convinced that people who go out with basic knowledge and practice their craft will ultimately achieve their goals faster than those who lock themselves away with books and wait decades for the perfect camera that will never be built. So go out, use the camera you have, make mistakes, learn how to stop making those mistakes and start again. And don't focus exclusively on the technical side of things. I'd much rather look at a technically imperfect photography with exciting content than at a technically perfect photograph that tells me nothing. Secondly, don't pay too little attention to the technique. You should at least learn the theory to the extent that you know roughly what you need to make the photo the way you like it. If you don't understand the absolute basics, you will get in your own way. Don't get hung up on the fact that all your equipment has to be perfect and you don't need to understand every calculation, but learn as much about photography as you need for your purpose. This can vary a lot. I'm completely lost when it comes to flash, for example. So don't just buy the most expensive camera and then be sad because the pictures look bad in fully automatic mode. Number 3. Don't just look at things from your own genre. You will never develop your own style if you always copy exactly what others are already doing. For many it can also be frustrating and demotivating to compare yourself to other artists in the same genre. Go to exhibitions, look at paintings, read books, or simply go out into nature. You can find inspiration everywhere. At some point you will get to the stage where you question what actually makes your own work special, and it's helpful to know what makes you as a person special. Fourthly, and this is one of the most important points for me, especially in the photography community, avoid negativity. Creative jobs are stressful and frustrating enough, so don't allow that to affect you and try to approach things positively. There's no point in putting people down in the forum or in the comments here. Remember that you started out too, and be happy about input from people who are just getting into photography. And last but not least, don't spend all your money on gear. In the rarest of cases, my pictures have gotten better through buying gear. On the contrary, you first have to learn your new camera, and this may even be a hindrance in the short term if you don't know your camera inside out for a job. From my own experience, I can say that my own pictures have mostly improved with good input and a more positive approach, which I have to admit I often find difficult. I hope this video has encouraged you to get started with photography without getting caught up in the details. Don't be put off by the variety of new technology or the harsh tone of some people here. If you enjoyed this video, I'd be very happy if you subscribed. See you next time.